Hey folks, today is Friday, March 2nd, 2018. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, here to talk about some video game stuff that has been going on this week. And it's been quite a week. Kind of, sort of interesting. The first thing I do want to talk about, which is pretty interesting, is the fact that Sony has announced that they're doubling down and restructuring to prioritize first-party titles. In a press release, they announced that starting April, they will be restructuring the company to essentially prioritize really doubling down on securing the funding and making the deals to get more PlayStation-exclusive games. Apparently, Sean Layden, one of the heads of Sony, will be taking on more priorities, as well as some of the people that oversee Sony Europe and Sony Asia. Honestly, that's all the information the press release has really given us. I don't know what this actually means in terms of details, but it sounds nice. It definitely sounds like good news for those who have PlayStations and are just looking for more exclusives to play. There are plenty on the horizon, but I guess they're looking towards the future. Now, it is also worth pointing out that this announcement does come after a couple months ago when Xbox announced that they are going to be spending more money to acquire more studios to get more Xbox exclusives. So this is almost like a little bit of like a war of escalation, I guess. So in a way, by them announcing, maybe it's more of just like a marketing thing, kind of like an appeal to consumers thing. I don't know for sure, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let's move on to something else that I want to talk about. This is way more important. Tony Hawk is talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater once again. It's not all good news though. Apparently, Tony Hawk came out and said, "Leave me alone. Stop asking me if servers will come back online for Tony Hawk games or if I can remaster a Tony Hawk game," because according to him, his contract ran out with Activision in 2015 and he is no longer working with them on Tony Hawk games at all.
Went out with a bang, huh?
Not really. Oh, that kills me. That kills me that the last Tony Hawk game kind of sucked ass.
They need to make a skateboarding video game now because those games would be perfect for microtransactions.
Oh no. Honestly, I bring this up because it's not really the most exciting news in the world. It's just a couple of tweets of him outlining what the deal is. But to me, it's kind of like the closing of a book. And that book was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Good night. We'll see you maybe eventually one day. Honestly, I downloaded Skate 3 the other night. It's still really good.
Still pretty good.
Yeah, that fills the void. Also, now we got some stuff you should definitely watch from this week. First things we have linked in the description, as well as everything else I talk about, is a Fallout 4 mod, where essentially modders are creating Fallout 3 in Fallout 4's engine. And honestly, it looks like it's pretty well along, and it looks pretty cool. We're highlighting this because it does look really cool. This is more new in the news cycle, but it is worth pointing out that someone has also been working on Fallout New Vegas in the Fallout 4 engine, which is also a good Fallout game that some people really like.
What? You saying you don't like New Vegas?
I wasn't crazy about it.
Really?
Yeah, it didn't jive with me.
Wow.
It's gonna be alright.
That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong, but...
Thanks. Not only that, we also got a new game announcement and a full trailer that is pretty interesting for what is this called?
Mutant League Football.
No, Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. That's the game. That is a horrible... terrible
That's
name.
even worse than Horizon Zero Dawn.
That makes that look like nothing. Name aside, what we get is just a cinematic trailer that is not indicative of the game at all, but the character designs are really cool. There's a duck that smokes cigarettes. I'm a big fan of that personally. This game is being published by Funcom. It is worth pointing out that their last game was Conan Exiles, so take that for what you will. But the early details on this game are that it's going to be a more fantasy, sci-fi, XCOM style game, but with fun characters. Moving on, something that popped up on the internet, on Twitter, something that got me really excited because I am a fanboy and I like playing whatever game I can on the Switch, not gonna lie. Blizzard teased something that a lot of people picked up on as an official tease for Diablo being ported to the Nintendo Switch. This would be insane because I think Diablo would lend itself to a portable platform very well. And not only that, but it would be the first time in 20 years that Blizzard would put one of their games on a Nintendo product, with the last one being StarCraft on Nintendo 64. But it looks like it's not the case. It looked like they were just trying to do a type of tease with the community and just kind of do like a little joke with a scary monster and a flashlight. I understand why a lot of people picked it up to be the Nintendo Switch, but Blizzard actually came out and said like, no, we're not that clever. Sorry, we have nothing to announce. And that sucks. But hey, not only that, speaking of Blizzard, it is worth pointing out that much to the delight of many Overwatch fans, they did announce a new character this week who is now playable on the PTR. She is Torbjorn's daughter, and her name is Brigitte. Did I get it right this time? Brigitte?
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 Brigitte.
Brigitte.
How do you pull it back?
Brigitte. Oh, also, this kind of went under the radar, but we did get an announcement for Detroit Become Human getting a release date. It is May 25th. And not only that, we got the box art for the game, and a lot of people think it's pretty hideous. I'm kind of 50-50. It's really weird. It kind of makes me feel uncomfortable. I definitely want to know what you guys are thinking, though. Let me know. And excitingly enough, we are getting rumblings of the next Battlefield game. It was only inevitable. Battlefield 1 was a big success, and these games pretty much come out every year. And it looks like the newest scoop, thanks to GamesBeat, is that it is going to be a World War II game. Initially, it was rumored to be called Battlefield 2, which is very on the nose, following up Battlefield 1. But of course, we all know we have a Battlefield 2, which was fucking fantastic. But then the rumor was also corrected, saying now apparently it's going to be called Battlefield V, which is 5.
Ah, the 5th Battlefield.
I played Metal Gear Solid. I know Roman numerals. That's really all we know for right now, thanks to the new scoop. Of course, this is a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. We don't know when it's releasing. I would assume it will be releasing this year. But I'm very curious to see what you guys think, because it seemed like there would be a resurgence of World War II shooters coming back again, and I don't know how well received Call of Duty World War II was with fans, but for me, I found it a little bit of a bummer and not as exciting as I would hope. And I think Battlefield does a very good job at sticking to what it does very well, with Battlefield 1 being the exception. I like modern Battlefield games. However, they are creative, and I would like to see them take another crack at World War II. So who knows? I don't know. But for you PC gamers out there is a new report by an analyst who has released predictions stating that with the whole boom of cryptocurrency and people running out and buying graphics cards, apparently in 2017, cryptocurrency miners bought 3 million graphics cards worth a total of over $700 million. Apparently, according to the way this data breaks down, AMD actually worked out better than NVIDIA did. That is crazy. That is some prediction data to look over if you are fascinated with just how this is all going and why graphics cards are still so expensive right now. The read is worth checking out. I linked it in the description as well as everything else we talk about. But something I did want to bring up was the Yakuza 6 demo that did drop on PS4 last week, and the basically blowout disaster it was, because it was a 32 gigabyte download, and essentially it was giving you the entire game, which demos have done before, where you download the entire game and then it's kind of like locked away to just a demo portion. But apparently some people in North America and other territories were able to figure out that you could pretty easily just make it be the full game, and a lot of people just suddenly had access to the full Yakuza 6 game that doesn't release until March? Late April? Yeah. It was good that they did say that whoever got some progress in the game will be able to transfer that over for the full game. That was the original plan with the demo, but they had to take the demo down, which does kind of suck. Honestly, if any game I would want to have a demo, it would be that game, because it's a really hard game to explain. It's a hard game series to explain, but I think you have to just try it and you'll fall in love with it. But in some somewhat political news, the ESRB, or Entertainment Software Ratings Board, has announced new steps to essentially label games that have in-game purchases. This would be probably above the rating, which they are in control of, and it would designate games similar to how games are on the App Store or the Google Play Store, that says, hey, there are in-game purchases here. Now, to many people, and to me as well, this doesn't really go far enough in terms of labeling things as loot boxes or gambling, but that's a whole nother story. This is at least a first step to them kind of trying to denote that, hey, games, you can spend more money than $60 in them. Because this label is kind of a broad brush. It doesn't just kind of denote certain games with loot boxes or gambling microtransactions. It's any type of in-game purchase at all. And honestly, with the way games are right now, that label will be on pretty much every game case, right? Do you think this goes far enough? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see more regulations on your games? That's a very, very tricky thing to talk about, but I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments. But on a highlight, or not really a highlight because this is a literal story about crime, but a guy in the United States recently robbed a GameStop and then was promptly found and arrested. But this is really funny because apparently, according to these reports, the cops busted in and found him playing the Xbox One that he stole. There's nothing really to add to that at all. I just thought that was kind of a funny story to share. I think the moral of the story is crime doesn't pay. But I'd really like to see what game he was playing when he got arrested.
I wish I had something funny to say that.
I know, me too. He's probably playing the backwards compatible download of Viva Pinata. And also, I just want to follow up from last week. We did start asking for Fortnite glitches. So if you are playing Fortnite and you came across a good glitch, submit it to us for a chance to have it featured in a gameranx video where we react to the glitches and stuff. It could be a good time. Judging from Kingdom Come Deliverance, it could be a big shit show. I'm looking forward. There's a link in the description to submit. Show us what you got. But speaking of links down in the description, now we got to do that console giveaway we do every single week. You know how it goes by now. There's a link in the description below. You click it once to sign up. You enter once, then you're entered for good. And then every single week we go in and randomly choose one person to win a free console of their choice. Yeah, that's right. This week's winner is going to be this person right here. I got to take a breath. Congratulations. Be sure to keep an eye on your inbox, your spam box, all that stuff, because Tom is going to be sending an email to figure out how we can send you your free shit. So congratulations. But now we got to talk about all the stuff that has been going down this week, because It actually was kind of an interesting week in news. I don't know. How do you guys feel about this new Battlefield game? And if it does go back to World War II, is that something you really want from that series? Or are you just done with that series altogether? I know some people are just done with EA. So why did I clap for that? Were you one of the lucky people that were able to download the Yakuza 6 demo and then essentially get to play the whole game? Also, how do you feel about that fake tease of Diablo on Nintendo Switch, because that's something I would very much like. Do you think that statement that Sony is going to focus more on first-party titles, do you think that's just kind of like marketing bullshit, or are you excited to see what they're actually going to come up with? And have you played the new Overwatch character? I want to know what you think, because I haven't got my hands on her yet. Ooh. Hands on her yet? Ooh. Let's talk about anything video game stuff going on this week. Down in the comments, I'll be down there talking to you guys as much as possible, but you probably know where else to find me by now. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Jake Baldino. And of course, we're all always on Discord hanging out if you want to talk to us over there. Discord.gg/gameranx. But you know the deal by now. Clicking the like button does help us out. We really appreciate it over here. Thank you guys for coming around, hanging out with us. If you haven't subscribed yet, you should, because we put out videos like this every single day. We have 4 million of you now, which is insane. But thank you for coming around. I'm Jake Baldino. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Pizza's on me.